Hey everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of Creator Cafe. I'm over here with Orange, and he's joining me. His Instagram is Leica_dream. If you want to go check him out on Instagram. And I don't know, we just wanted to really delve into his creative process and how he goes about doing things. And if you're watching the visual version up on YouTube, I'll go and put a screenshot of his Instagram feed. So he uses oranges in every single photo that he takes. And I thought that was really unique and creative. So, Orange, do you want to give a little bit of background about yourself and like what you do?
Yes, my name is Orange. I am a photographer in Fresno, California, and I do a lot of fashion, fine art here and there. And I'm working on like learning video and stuff now. So
Nice.
that's pretty. I'm trying to expand my whole brand and my style of art and everything. So
That's cool. How did you get into the whole theme of having that orange, as your symbol, like your staple?
um, funny story. A friend of mine's was coming from Washington, and she's a photographer, and she wanted to do a shoot with I wanted to do a shoot with her when she came down.
Hmm.
And once she came here, she got sick. So I was telling her, if you don't want to do this, she was asking, well, since I'm sick and I can't do the shoot, you know, um, can you be my model and I'll take the photos for you? And I was like, how about this? How about you and me are in the photos at the same time? And the her thought process was like, how is that supposed to happen? Kind of,
That's the same
thinking
thing
you're just
right
gonna,
now.
yeah, you're thinking you're like supposed to do one portrait of me and I do a portrait of you. And so I came up with the concept of us just wearing our normal street clothes, and her where with we were I said the props that we're gonna have is a mirror. I
Mhm.
bought this huge mirror that was like 5 feet tall, and I bought some oranges, and we went to a parking lot in downtown, and I set the mirror on the floor, and we started taking shots, and her mind was just like, so literally looking at the shots, it literally looked like that like we're falling from the sky or flying or floating or whatnot.
Oh, did you take like an aerial shot of like
Yeah,
how
we
did you
were
do
all
it?
taking shots of each other downward, so
Hmm.
that way, if she's taking a photo from this angle and I was over here, then it would bounce off and it'll look like she's taking it from, like, it looks like a mirror dimension kind of shot, kind of thing.
Dang, sounds pretty
And
cool.
so after that shoot, I went home and I don't know, I had made a it's like a wallpaper I had made for my phone, and I still have it to this day. And I looked at it, and it was three oranges on there. So uh, I was like, you know what? I like stuff that has a meaning to it. They say all artists have a meaning to what they paint or what they sculpt or what they music or anything like that. So I wanted to have a meaningful mind, and I kept gravitating towards the color here and there during my shoots, and that's
Mhm.
how my editing pattern has always been. So I looked at the definition of the color, and the definition of the color orange is it's not an action, it's just based off of happiness, joy, inspiration, creativity, positivity,
I like that.
sexuality, et cetera, et cetera. The list just goes on and on. And I was like, you know what? This is what I want to represent in my art. I want to represent the positivity. I want people to see it and get inspired. I want people to look at it, feel creative, and do their own thing. And just from that, it expanded to what it is now. For now everybody see looks at my work and just it'd be weird just to not have an orange within it.
Yeah.
And I now is ever since then I carry an orange on me, just period. And just just to have that um, on there, that's my signature.
Hmm.
It's kind of like my watermark, and I still, I get the cat, the usual. I saw this shot and I thought of you, and from another
Yeah, yeah.
photographer, or I saw this and and I thought of you, and I get the
Oh, I do
messages
that
of
too. Remember? I was like, I saw another one. I said I tagged you in the comments.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I also you get people that will give me a short story of how their day went.
Hmm.
When it was like I've been feeling bad for so long, and then I looked at your post and I picked up an orange. Like they tell me this, they picked up the actual fruit, started eating it, and they gained positivity within their day. Everything changed for them in that day, and that's to me, that's like the I'm a humble guy,
Hmm.
but it's just like that's like it's just
That's
it's like
powerful,
a
like hearing that
yeah,
from someone. Like you
yeah,
impacted them like that.
yeah,
Cool.
and I want to keep that energy just going and going and going. So
Yeah, I like
that's the
that.
whole that's the whole definition of why I use oranges. There's a different meaning if I have a certain amount of oranges, but that's my
Oh, oh,
secret.
that's a secret.
Yeah,
So we gotta all find that out, huh?
yeah.
All right. Oh yeah. Another thing, like when you're using oranges, do you plan a shot around the orange? Like, do you know where you're gonna put the orange first, or do you like pose a model first and then put the orange after? Like
um,
the primary subject, I guess.
my my thought process is basically I picture the whole shoot as a movie.
Mm,
Um, I study a lot of film for to just to do photography. So in my head, it feels more like a movie, and I'm taking stills from certain scenes of my head and then
huh,
placing them in photo form. So when I go on my shoot, I I pretty much look at the orange a lot instead of the model,
okay.
and just staring at the orange, it makes me think about, well, they can have their arm here, they can have their arms here, or they can have it here, or just here. And the process just like keeps going on and on and on. And it's more of me posing the orange more than I'm posing the model. And
Oh, that's an
they
interesting take on that.
yeah, so you know they always hold it in their hand and they're like, I don't know what to do with this.
Mhm.
And then I'd say probably like a good 10, 15 minutes go by, and I don't even have to really pose them. They'll start doing things with the orange themselves, like here, holding it behind their back or tossing it in the air. It's just a random, it's just a random situation when it comes to me and how everything, my process is when I'm on the shoots and stuff.
It's cool. I like that. Also, I remember one of your shoots. I think it was the one that I initially commented on. You did like a FaceTime one, right? With
Yes.
Orange. How did that go? Because like you had to communicate like across, different areas.
Um, that that shoot was my first. That was my first time doing that. Her name is Gabby Torres. If anybody wants to know, um, I we had we did a Skype call,
Hmm.
and it was so hilarious. I wish I could get BTS S of that because it was just like how you have your phone on like the unlock and it's like swiveling around and
Right, right.
here and then
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like doing it. So it was a lot of that going on. And but she had her on camera, and
Hmm.
what I would do is I would have her. At first, it was just her and her outfit and the oranges, and randomly, I was just, do you have like champagne glasses or other glasses? Because I was for some reason my mind was thinking of like water because she was around
Hmm.
plants,
Yeah.
and she would put her camera on her little small tripod, and which was underneath a table. So she what she would do is she would get the shot and it would be on a 10-second timer. So I would show her what pose to do. She'll perform the pose first, and then when I'd be like, that's the perfect one, she would go to her camera, press it for 10 seconds, and then have to run back
Oh man, you gotta nail that
like
pose
five,
in 10 seconds.
yeah, 5 feet, and in 10
Oh,
seconds they had to like pose. So uh, it was a lot of that going back and forth and back and forth. But we had an amazing fun, a
yeah,
lot of fun doing that.
fun.
There's gonna be more of that soon.
All
So
right, cool. Same model, or are you gonna do it with a bunch of people, or?
same with her. We're gonna do another one again,
Mhm.
pretty soon, and I would like to do more of the FaceTime thing because that is actually fun. That was my first time
Yeah,
to do
that's cool. I still have yet to try that out. Me and my friend Taylor wanna set one up. Thing is, like, I just have a creative block, because I'm not really sure what kind of concepts to do with that.
it. The best thing to do if you are doing some kind of FaceTime shoot or a Skype shoot, et cetera, or if your friend has a camera and they just want you to help pose them or whatnot,
Mhm.
the best thing to do is to um, you and the model come up with a planner. To say like this is the right outfit to do. Um, Go back and forth and give each other some kind of inspiration as far as like these poses would be cool, this mood would be nice, this and that. So it's just a back and forth kind of thing. So that way, the next day or whenever day it comes up, you guys will already have it like down packed,
Right,
and you during pretty much during the shoot, you can also finding different ways of doing other stuff as well. So instead of just like not instead of just you paid attention to what you guys have sent each other inspirationally, you will change that because it'll be your own thought process. Time will go by and
right.
you'll be like, oh, let's try this, let's try this, oh, let's do that, let's do that. So I say planning it first is the best thing to do when
So you're not
you're
going in
when you
blind, right? So you're not
yeah,
so
you're
you
not
get there
you're
like, all right, now what?
yeah. So you got the outfit, you got your props, and then you
Yeah,
call, and then, that person is just sitting there waiting for you, or you're waiting for that person. So it's best to just plan it all out before
right,
you even
right.
do it.
And then when you're in the moment, you're saying like, oh, you might get an idea like here and there, right? To
Yeah,
try out. That's cool. Yeah,
yeah. Just because you also don't want to try and copy someone else.
right.
You want to try and place your own thumbprint on what you're doing.
Hmm.
If if you have created a style, you want to make sure it's not someone else's that you're doing that you saw someone else do on a FaceTime shoot or whatever. You
Like
want to
add
make
your own
sure
little
that
twist on it.
yeah, put your own little twist on it, and the ideals will keep flowing. They'll keep going, they'll keep going. And it's actually really fun because it'll get to the point where that person will mess up the shot and you'll be like, no, 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 that's not it.
Yeah,
And you'll do that and you'll be like, no, that's not the right angle. It's just it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot difficult because the person's not in front of you.
right,
So that's also the biggest challenge as well because you're not face to face or just turning your camera around and showing
right,
them like, hey, this is a good shot. It's a lot it's a lot harder because you're thinking you have to go in blind and that person is going in blind. But like I said, just planning it and coming up with the strategy on what to do, poses, style, mood, etc. And just go from there. And then your thought process will just be like boom. And then by the time you get the pictures and start editing, you'll be like, I cannot believe I did.
I
Like
can't
this
believe I
actually
just
looks like
took
a
a
real
photo shoot on my phone.
phone. Yeah. It's just like I can't
Yeah.
believe that happened.
And worst comes to worst, like at the end of the day, even if the pictures aren't like as great as you wanted them to turn out, like that was like a lot of fun, I'm guessing, right?
It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if you feel that's even if you are doing a FaceTime shoot or if you're doing a regular shoot, even if you feel like you didn't get the right shots that you wanted or anything, as long as you're creating that vibe, the ideas will flow.
Right.
If you and the person you are working with are like this, if you guys talk to each other like you've been friends for decades, you know the shots will come through. Both of you
Yeah.
guys' minds will go like that, and like I said, it is a difficult process because, like I said, you're not in front of that person.
Mhm.
But the ideas will start flowing, and it'll get to the point where you're laughing more than you are taking photos at the same time. And I mean, overall, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
if someone doesn't have like the right equipment and they want to do something like that, it's totally fun to do. I advise everyone to try it out just at least once. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But if you feel like you can do it again, it's definitely a cool experience to go through.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, speaking of like, I remember you just mentioned equipment. Like, it's crazy how technology is advancing, you know? And
Mm.
like, what do you think that means for, like the photography industry and like us as photographers creating, with like every year, like the smartphone gets like a better camera, you know?
Mm.
What do you think about that?
Um, for me personally, I, uh, phones are great. They have become this amazing thing that they are today. Remember the days where it's just the flip phone, and then
Yeah.
the picture used
I
to
had
come
the
out all
slide up
grainy.
keyboard. Do you remember those? You slide
Yeah,
up the keyboard and you can
yeah. So I mean, like cameras went from being extremely grainy to clear as daylight now,
Yeah.
and I feel that, and that's also for video as well. For video, it's amazing, and for I feel that the technology will get there, but I don't think it could ever beat a DSLR or
Mhm.
mirrorless, or it could even beat a film camera at that. Your cell phone is pretty much like in fifth or fourth place, but yet if you can't afford what's above those places, then you still have your phone and you can still create the most amazing things with it. I created a video and it looks like I shot it off of a 4K camera. And that's just the power that your phone has. I started photography on a phone,
Oh,
and
same,
I started with a a Google Nexus. It's an old phone, it's discontinued now. And when I went from there, I went from that to my iPhone 7 Plus, and I used to just take photos of buildings, grass, and when I go in to edit them, it actually looked like I had a DSLR on me and taking those photos. It's you never want to limit yourself.
right.
Just because you can't afford the camera, it doesn't mean that you still can't go out and take photos because you have a camera that you can use and it fits right in your pocket. It's it's pretty much your always go to tool. I do a lot of BTS on my phone, and because I don't have a second camera to do that,
Yeah, same.
and a lot of those videos just from doing the BTS, they come out amazing. And so I feel like the technology will catch up, but I don't. I still think that it still has like a few 3 or 4 steps to catch up for the rest of the
Right.
equipment that is out there, the gear that people are trying to get.
I think that also brings up the point, like, your equipment doesn't matter as much as, like, your creativity or, like, skill, you know?
It really doesn't. Um, you should never listen to people that be like, oh, you can't be here because you have a phone. The rest of us have a camera. You know, 9 times out of 10, you can you can end up getting a better shot on a phone than you can with a camera. That's odd to say, but it's actually true.
Mhm.
And just like us, just because you don't have $2,000 to get this or $500 to get that, and say your phone costs as much as a camera if you actually think about it.
Yeah, that's
And
right. Whoa.
so so just taking photos with that, or if you don't take photos and you just do videos, just doing videos of that, you can still go to you can still edit them on Final Cut. You can still go into Lightroom and edit a photo from your phone. And all that technology is even right there on the phone. You don't even have to connect it to some computer. It has it. There's apps for you to
Yeah,
do that
yeah.
now.
That's what I started at too.
Yeah. So it's it's not a bad thing to have phones. It's actually a great way to start out until you feel like you have like if you feel like you want to push yourself, your limits more, your creativity more, then you can buy the camera. But your creativity is in here.
Right.
It's not on your device. Like you can come up with endless things. I know a few phone photographers that are out there still, and they're still used. They don't even have. They have the money to buy a camera for sure, but they love using this so much that it's become their go-to.
Hmm.
Just to walk outside and like, oh, this is a great flower, or this is a cool person sitting on the bench.
Or
All
like
you
the
do is pull your
sunset, or like
this.
anything really.
All you do is pull your phone out, boom, boom, and you go into edit, and you get everybody's like, oh, that's a great shot. What camera do you use? Oh, I have an
Yeah,
iPhone.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not. There's no problem with what gear you have or what you use or whatnot. I'm actually part of a creative. I'm actually part of a company that like dabbles in stuff like this now. So like they have lenses for
Oh,
your
like
for your
attachable
phone.
ones to your phone.
Yes,
Oh,
they're called Moment, and they have lenses. They have filters. They have cases. They have gimbals just for stuff like this because it's 90% you're going to use this more than carrying your big camera around
yeah,
everywhere
true.
you go.
Oh yeah, you mentioned earlier that you're getting into video. Like, what kind of sparked that interest in you?
Because everybody else is doing
Oh,
it. Yeah,
like the
I
B-roll and stuff, with the slow and then it goes fast and like or those quick clips and stuff.
what I wanted to do for me personally, B-roll is kind of hard, and it's like a slow learning process to do B-roll for me.
Hmm.
But I think I've been getting a lot better at it lately. But what I wanted to do with video was create like small little clips or just little skit videos, not like something funny, but something creativity.
Oh yeah.
And I also wanted to do things to where just to make my own music videos because
Oh
I
nice.
make music as well. And I just wanted to create like a mood from an indie film. I'm a big indie film guy, and that's where I gain a lot of my inspiration from. And that's what I wanted to do with video was do more stuff like an indie movie, like the music, the tone of it,
Yeah.
just somebody running down the street and they get to their destination and just cuts off. Like, where were they running this whole time? It's just
Yeah.
like stuff like that I have in my head for videos, and the process is I've done a lot of failure in in
Yeah.
it for just because of editing. Like I've been editing photos for so long,
Hmm.
trying to edit video.
And then color grading,
It
right?
was difficult. Yes, that too, and it's just like oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's a whole
So
different caliber, huh?
it really is just making that transition because but you should never stop, never
Right.
stop at all. Just because if one video looks crappy doesn't mean the next video is going to look it. The more you
True.
keep going, the better the color your video will get, the better the editing will get. You get better B roll, etc.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just have to keep at it. That's pretty much it.
Even like with the podcast right now, like this is only my second episode, like I might not be like the best host yet, but like 30 episodes down the line, I'll probably have this down.
Yeah, you'll have it down. You have a catchphrase. You'll have everything.
Probably even a
You'll
jingle at the end or something.
and you'll have like little jitters in the video and stuff like that of you doing stuff. So yeah, it's just like it's a learning experience into doing
Right.
everything to anything that you accomplish yourself in, whether it's photography, video, basketball, podcast. You have to keep going. If you feel that you're passionate about it, then keep going with it. And just from how you're just saying this is your second video of doing this, you can't you already out of that thought process of like I can't do it because
Mhm.
you're already on your second episode. So it's like it's like now you have to keep going. You got to keep doing this. And a lot of more episodes will get better. You'll end up seeing newer people and stuff like that. So it's 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 definitely a mental process of like
Definitely, yeah.
not trying to quit at all.
Especially for like creators, because like you can just like after you learn it, and still like trying new things and everything.
hmm As far as being a creator, the thing about being a creator, it's a difficult process. It's very mental. Um, it's hard on your mind because when you're just an up and comer and you get discouraged of like let's say I just started photography like 2 months ago and you started like 5 months ahead of me,
Okay.
and we've known each other for so long, and then all of a sudden you get your photo on the cover of Dazzled, or you get your photo on the cover of Cosmopolitan or Vogue or any other fashion. It gets kind of discouraging seeing someone else, you know, you have that has succeeded, and you're like, I'm busting my butt. I'm not getting on
Yeah.
this. And you're placing yourself in a mental trap for yourself because the more you're looking at everyone else and the more you're paying attention what everyone else does, you're not focusing on how can you make yourself better in the
Right.
process. And that's the one thing about it's the thing about being a creator. There's a thing of actually telling somebody, "Hey, congratulations," and telling somebody, "Hey, congratulations. I wish that was me."
Right.
So
Yeah. There's a difference.
it's all of it's all of it's all a mind trick. And the person that tricks you is yourself. Because you get to the point where you like, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I can't do this. The more you keep telling yourself that word can't, which I don't know why it's still invented, but you keep going down the line and the line and line and line, and then you'll get to the point where you put everything down, like you can't do it anymore, and no one's telling you that you shouldn't. The only person that you're doing that to is yourself, and getting out of that mental process is keeping a positive energy within yourself, trust in your abilities, and have make have everyone around you as inspiration.
Hmm.
um, don't place them as competition. Don't
Right.
place them as you know something else like them being better than you. The
And
only
like don't
person you need,
compare yourself to like other
yeah, to
top
other people,
creators and things.
because like that's another like it's just another jab at your mentality.
Right.
Just like, oh, he's better than me. Like, oh, how did he get on this? Oh, how did he get that? Oh, he just got on the cover of Pepsi. So it's just like you're doing that to yourself. You're hitting yourself. You're not hitting the person that you see accomplishing all these things because they've done hard work, and that's what you have to keep doing.
Right.
You have to if you have to take 1,000 photos, take 1,000 photos for that one photo to be seen in whatever magazine you're trying to get in or feature page or whatever. You keep the work going and never place yourself in that negative mental space, and use everyone as inspiration. Like, okay, if he could do it, then I can do it as well.
Yeah.
So that
It's a better
just
like
keep,
outlook on that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So what I would tell everybody is to never get discouraged and always keep working hard and always try your best, even if you do fall. Failure, I always say failure is one of the greatest experiences to go through. You fall. When babies fall, what do? They get right
Get
back
up.
up,
Yeah.
right? So as adults, we have to do the same thing with whatever we are passionate about and want to accomplish. You always want, if you fall, if you feel like that photo shoot didn't work out right, okay, you fail. Next one will be better. If the next one's better, 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 you fall, you remember how to get back up. It's easy for you now. You get into that process where like it doesn't phase me. Like I don't get any scrapes or scratches from failure now. So I'm Teflon. You have to think of yourself as that, everything just slides off of you. Even if somebody's like, "Oh, I don't like this shot," hey, you don't like it, but I love it. So it is basically so. Just I would just telling everybody to keep a positive mindset. Have everyone else around you have them as inspiration, and never give up, and just keep trying over again and again.
Yeah, I like that. Like really honing in like on your own goals, not comparing, but still seeing
Mhm.
like what everyone else is doing, but don't have like that fear that you're missing out, I guess. You know?
Yes, because you're not actually missing out.
Right.
You're actually focusing on yourself, and your art is different from theirs. Your
Yeah.
your your painting is different from theirs. Your music is different from theirs, and it just goes on and on and on and on. Even the way somebody dribbles a ball, the way you dribble a ball is different than that person dribbles a ball. You're working on your craft. You're not trying to figure out how you can be them. You're trying to how you can be the best you can be. So just keeping that flow going. That's all people have to do.
Dang, dude, you should start your own podcast. Being motivational this morning. Dude, you even got the. I was gonna bring a glass of orange juice, just because
I
like-
drunk my last cup last night.
oh man.
I'm
uh,
always vitamin C up.
oh, that's another thing. Like, you actually enjoy eating oranges, right?
Mhm.
Because I was gonna say, like, imagine if every photo has an orange, right? But you don't actually like eating oranges or anything like that.
No, and then,
Imagine
and
that.
then um, the the crazy thing about that is like my mother, she is like allergic to it. So I
Oh.
could barely do she's allergic to the citrus. So
Mhm.
if she peels the orange and the citrus touches her skin starts to swell.
Ooh.
And it's so hard for her. It's so hard to do a photo with her, but like I have like this little bag to put it in. I just put a bunch of oranges in and just like here, hold this, and then so I can just
Gotta
do
make a
photos
little
with her.
workarounds, huh?
Yeah, always got to do some workarounds. But yeah,
That's creative, though.
yeah, I there there's a lot of oranges, but if I had to say which one are my favorite to use in a photo shoot, are the tangelos. They have
Tangerine?
yeah,
What
so
are those?
tangelos are okay. You have your regular orange, but on the top it looks like a cap for the orange.
What?
And when you peel it, there's a way for you to peel it like all the way down. And
Oh, like
it's
all
like
in one go like that?
yeah, you can peel it all in one go. And they're really fun to use in a shoot. They're really good. They're sour, but they're really good. And but they only come out, I would say,
Oh, so they're like
springtime or close to the fall.
limited
Yeah,
time kind of. Ooh, nice.
it's kind of like the peach, like peach season. If that's how the tangelos are. And
Have you
if
had
there's a
blood oranges? You know the ones with the
yes,
red inside? Yeah, like my
hmm
grandparents, I think they have a tree outside. So.
yeah, that I did I think two shoots with blood oranges, and that's like those are rare too because they grow every certain season as well. So I definitely want to do more with those. And I just done something with a grapefruit, so
Oh,
that's that's
expanding
the
to
first.
different fruits now, huh?
Yeah, so just going into like the whole orange family because I'm so used to using like two different types, and now I want to try and just keep using a lot more.
You could have like a whole like series of like every single different one, like in a shot.
I thought about that, and I've also thought about this one shoot, which would take a lot of money to create. and it's called the Orange Brush, and it's basically like 50 to 75 oranges in one shoot,
Oh,
and uh,
all different kinds or like the same kind? Or?
all different kinds. Yeah,
Whoa.
so it'd be like 10 tangerines, 10 of these, or four of those, or a bunch of those. And I thought of that concept like years ago. I'd say like a year or two ago, and I've never had it happen because I'm just like, what am I gonna do with all the oranges once I'm done with this?
Maybe make some smoothies, you know?
Yeah, make some smoothies and like sell them right here on the corner or something. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Fundraising for the shoot afterward.
yeah,
I was thinking about, do you want to make like a challenge? Either like using fruit. Should we challenge people to like use a fruit in a photo and
yeah. You know what? Yes, that'd be a good challenge. It's
like pick your
sometimes it.
favorite fruit and like use it in a photo?
Yes.
Or what are
Uh,
like the what's kind of like the creative like what are we going for?
mm, if people would use their favorite fruits, I would say the best way to the best way to do photos with fruit is to just be silly. Be silly, get weird. Uh, think think of a shot that no one else would probably do. Um, like if you're of course if you're doing a shoot with the banana, you're gonna do the phone.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind when you said that.
Yeah, so you're gonna do the phone with the banana, but if you also think about it, you can just have someone balance it on their head. If you have two bananas, you can make somebody use them for
Yep.
like bull horns. If you have grapes, you can have somebody hold the stem in their mouth while they're hanging, or you can have you can have the grapes up to someone's face like they're flowers and take a portrait like
You're
that.
coming up with these all right now? All these ideas?
Yeah, it's all up the fly.
Dang.
That's just how my mind is.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing with pineapple. Like you could take the top of the pineapple, put it up on your head. You
Dude, how are you doing this?
could.
It takes me like a while to think of like I'm like, okay, so if I have this, then maybe I can try this.
Yeah,
You just came up with
and
like 10 right now. Like
it's it because like I said, you have to think about it. Like you have to think about it as being weird, being silly, being odd, just something that no one, like I said, no one else is gonna think about doing at all. And 10 times out of 10, those are like the best shots because
mhm.
you know if someone's so used to seeing you doing like this portrait, that portrait, and they see you do something with fruit, and you're just like probably slicing apples into like little squares and making them using his monkey ears or whatnot, just doing stuff like that. People would be like, "Oh, pff, where did you come up with this at?" You know?
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just like you can go on and on and on and on. It's the same thing with strawberries. The same thing, like strawberries have a little hole in them. You can cut them and have somebody look through it. Like it's endless amounts of things you can do with fruit. You just have
yeah,
to get
definitely.
weird. You got to get crazy. You got to be odd. You have to think like a cartoon. That's the perfect analogy. Think like a cartoon.
Yeah, because they can do anything in cartoons, and then yeah, I
Hmm.
like that. Because like endless possibilities.
Yeah,
Huh. Oh,
the
that's a good way to
best.
think about like creating and stuff.
Yeah, think like a cartoon character. What would a cartoon character do with this object? What would what would that person think of doing it with this glass ball or that fruit or that bubble wrap or anything? These pieces of cardboard, anything. So you got to think like a cartoon character. As odd, as weird, as crazy as you can get, you'll come up with the best shots ever. You already know my head is like that. I just came up with like 20 different ideas.
You're probably gonna try them after with oranges after this, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Call people up like, hey, I just got some ideas.
I'm always learning like new different ways to use the oranges all the time. There's always something new. Somebody, even some of the like the models themselves, they'll come up to me like, "Have you ever did this with the oranges yet?" No, but I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah, exactly. Or if like when you're trying to sleep and you'll wake up like, oh, I just got an idea.
My mind is like that. A lot of my photographer friends is like, "How do you do this? Like, we just woke up."
You're already
Like, I
out
would wake
shooting
up
at like
and
sunrise or something.
yeah, like the sun don't even come up yet, and I'm already like, "All right, I got a good idea." Like,
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll challenge people to what are we calling this? Like this fruit challenge. What are we gonna call this?
what are we gonna call the fruit challenge? I would say,
I put this on you
hmm,
because you just came up with like 20 ideas, so you're probably gonna
20
this
ideas.
name.
I'm good with ideas, but not names.
Oh,
um, I hey, just call it the fruit galore,
fruit galore.
fruit galore challenge.
All right, let's do it.
Have everyone use their most favorite fruit, the one they eat the most. Uh, do the best portraits, the best. Yeah, create 5 good portraits that you can use with your favorite fruit.
All right, fruit galore challenge.
Mm.
All right, I'm gonna challenge some people here because like I know they're probably watching this, so I'm gonna call them out. Okay, Brittany, I'll have you do this one. She's the guest from last episode. Taylor, I'll have you do this too. Maybe we can do this on our FaceTime shoot that we're still planning. Nikki, I'll have you do this too because I know like you already she cooks like a lot of different like fruity recipes and stuff, so I think she'd be good for that too. But yeah, let's do this.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. All right, you know how long have we been on here? Maybe like
It's almost been an hour.
wow. See what I mean? Like time flies when you're just like chatting about
Yep.
stuff, especially like stuff you're passionate about. You know,
Hmm. I know everybody talks to me and is like, you can tell you're real passionate about this. I am.
like you
I
can
won't stop.
feel it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, if I can leave somebody with something like to help them through to help them become better and help them through this is just to never stop. Never stop at all. Even if you feel like you're out of breath, if you feel like you're gonna quit, never stop. You never know what's around the corner, what can help you, what's gonna help you succeed. Uh, your dreams are just something that you do when you're asleep. When you're awake, you have to make that dream possible, and that
Right.
comes from hard work. The more you work at it, the better you become at it. The better you become at it, the best you'll become. So, just to tell people to never stop, never give up is the best thing I could leave somebody with.
You guys heard it from Orange himself. Never give up. All right. Cool.
Hmm.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us today on Creator Cafe. Thank you, Orange, for being our guest today.
Thank
All
you for
right.
having me.
Oh yeah. All right. And also, just another last reminder about the Fruit Galore challenge. So we'll get that going too.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see these.
All right. Thanks everyone. See ya.